So step 5 in the business building cycle is doing a get started session. And doing a proper get started session with your new distributor can either make them or break them. You know, unfortunately, one of the biggest complaints I hear in network marketing is that, yeah, I tried this thing once and the guy signed me up and I never heard from them again, but I was excited about what I saw. And that has always drove me crazy. Why go through the efforts to acquire a brand new distributor, then not take the time to set a proper foundation? Because the get started session is so important, the F.A.S.T track training system is going to have an entirely separate Fast Track Get Started workbook with its own DVD teaching thoroughly how to do a Get Started session, or popping it in and letting me help your new person get started until you learn these steps. The Get Started session should be personal. It should be a one-on-one or a two-on-one sort of a setting. So if I sponsor my brand new distributor, Bob, and the next day we sponsor Kim, well, obviously I can't expect Bob to be able to do the Get Started session for Kim. So this is where you start learning to successfully work down in depth supporting those people. So if I don't know Kim really well, then I want to ask a lot of questions, because I want to see what kind of person I'm dealing with. I want to ask, what's your professional background? Are you married? Do you have kids? What's your work schedule like? Do you love what you do? What have you done before? I want to ask a lot of these questions because, you know, their track record will give me clues to the kind of person they are, so I know what I'm working with. I'm trying to determine, is this somebody that's shy, that's going to need to do a lot of personal growth, or is this somebody that is an out-of-the-blocks go-getter? Have they done networking before? So before I get into anything, I want to paint a picture of the person, and I want my new prospect to also tell me about Kim, so we can properly do a get started session. So I'm not going to do a full get started session for you now in this, but you will get that in the separate workbook and DVD. But I am going to tell you the things that's important to cover in the get started session. Number one, before I get into these, don't just send your person off to go talk to people right away. They don't know how to contact and invite. They may have the wrong expectations. They may not understand the law of averages. They may not understand there's only 4 aces in a deck of cards. They may not understand that we may have to talk to 5 or more people to sign up that one person. So if somebody goes out on fire and they go out and get a negative response and they get beat up, maybe by their warm market because we didn't prepare them, well, then all of a sudden I'm calling Kim and my phone keeps going to voicemail. What happened? Well, we know what happened, right? They weren't prepared. So, plus we're establishing our long-term business building relationship. So the first thing in the get started, we do want to make sure that we've covered the basics, as I mentioned in step number 4 of the cycle, which is enroll. We want to make sure that they have an appropriate initial order, they're on auto ship, they understand their back office, and they have some of the tools and literature ordered, so we can actually go out and show the plan, because I want people to have their own literature for their own prospects. So we want to cover the basics. Then we're going to spend some time determining their why. And how do you determine somebody's why? Well, you go back to the section of the Fast Track manual, but we really want to flesh out their why. What is it that they have a lot of passion on? And we want to make it real for them. We want to make it real for them. And we want to have them write it down. And when you're helping them determine their why, don't just accept off-the-cuff answers like, just to make more money. Help them flesh out, what would you do with that money if you had it? What's important to you? So you want to dig a little bit deep, because until they connect with it emotionally, it's not truly a why, it's just a wish, okay? Next, we're going to set some goals. We're going to set some income goals, and let's say that this person's why is to quit their day job and they need to earn $50,000 a year. Well, we're going to set some goals starting with just affiliate all the way up, teaching them, 5 left and 5 right, 10 left, 10 right, 20 left, 20 right, and we're going to set some goals to show them how we can incrementally stair-step our way to getting what they want in their why. So we want to help them set some goals, and we want to write some dates. Then this is the most important. We want to pull out the ranks in the compensation plan, and this is how you make it real for them so it's not just a wish, okay? I want to pull out the pin levels in the compensation plan and tell them what pin level they need to have their why. So someone who says their why is they need $50,000 a year so they can be the stay-at-home mom, well, I'm going to show them that at Gold Executive, as you build your business and you're consistently qualifying at a gold distributor, well, that's going to give you $50,000. Now it becomes real. It's like, okay, well, we start with 5 and 5, then we can go to 10 and 10, and 20 and 20. So now what happens in the Get Started session, what they've learned and their excitement from what they saw in the plan, now it starts to be concrete, because people start feeling concrete when they know they have an actual blueprint for their success. It's not just some ethereal sort of fantasy or wish, or, you know, we're just going to hit it by, you know, luck and happenstance. So I want to show them the pin level and the compensation plan that we're going to help them build. Then what we're going to do is teach them the foundation for Diamond. We're going to teach them sponsor 20 left, 20 right, the 10 to 12 that will be active, the 6 to 8 long term, the 3 to 4 on each side that will be your leaders, and the one that will do it with you or without you. The reason why I want to teach everyone the foundation for Diamond is because it sets the proper expectation. People know that some people, they don't understand network marketing, and they see a binary and they see, you know, 2 legs, and they think, oh, I'll just get one person to do the work on the left and I'll just find another person on the right. Like, some people honestly think they're just going to go get their first 2 people, and hey, in my 15 plus years, it's never happened to me. So I want to set the proper expectation that we're going to have to do this work. I mean, it's going to take some work. This is networking, not working, all right? So I want to teach them, and that sets their expectations, because when I tell them, hey, listen, out of 20 people that come in, only 10 to 12 are going to be active, well, they then know that, you know, half are going to quit, okay? So I want to set their mindset to do the work, and I want to teach them it's going to take us 40 people. Then what we're going to do is we're going to build the list. We're going to talk about the importance of building a list, and you're going to go back to the list section on this DVD, and you're going to be able to show, hey, we need a list of 200 people. This is a sorting business, not a selling business, and we're going to tell them that a list of 200 people with a sponsoring rate of 1 out of 5 will give you your 40, okay? What we're going to do from their list is we're not going to sit there and build out all 200 names right now. That's going to be an assignment that you're going to give them, and they're going to get back to you when they've completed that. And some people may come up with 160. We're going to teach them about adding new names every day. But what we're really going to do is we're going to take their cell phone and their memory jogger, and we're going to build an initial list of 20, okay? Because we want to start being able to show the plan right away. Some people think, well, they've got to study the business before they can go out and talk to people. Well, that's not true. That's what their upline's for, is to basically help them show the plan. So basically, we're going to spend time identifying their initial 20, and then what we're going to do is we're going to identify the first 4 people that they're going to contact to invite to bring to me to show the plan, or to their immediate upline who's already skilled at showing the plan. Why 4? Well, if you don't get to the first 4, you're not going to get to the first 40. If you don't get to the first 20, you're definitely not going to get to the first 200. So I'm trying not to overwhelm my person. I want to teach them this is a business about getting into action. Also, with the first 4 people, my goal is to help them have initial success. We want to get some wins in the win column. You know, you don't teach your nephew how to play chess and beat him 87 games in a row, because he's probably not going to want to play chess again, right? I'm not going to send them after the CEO of the Fortune 500 company right away, their toughest prospect, unless they're on that same caliber, unless that's their warm market, okay? What I want to do is I want to guide them so her first 4 appointments are virtually a slam dunk. So what I want to do is guide them, say, hey, out of all the people you know, who can you get to take a look, based solely on your influence and credibility with them. So they may not be the perfect prospects, but I wanted to demonstrate this is a business of setting appointments. So we're going to identify the first 4, and then we're going to pick the proper invite that matches their 4 people. And I'm going to ask questions about this. How well do you know them? What's their professional background? I do that with every prospect. I don't like going into a meeting blind. I want to have as much information that I can so I'm best equipped to have rapport and show that person the plan. We're also going to have a time that they're going to call them, a time that they're going to get back to me, a time that we're shooting to set the appointment. So it's going to be a concrete game plan. Also, what this tells me is it kind of lets me know if this is a person that's going to follow through. In the beginning, when it's a new person, I'm a little bit skeptical. I want to know is this somebody, if it's their first 4 easiest prospects, will they follow through? And if they don't do that, then we have to make some adjustments and address some of the issues why. Last but not least, we're going to teach them about being plugged in. As I said before, the brightest light in the world doesn't shine unless it's plugged in. I want to teach them that this is a commitment, it's a 2 to 5 year plan, but more importantly, it's a minimum of 8 to 10 hours a week. And those 8 to 10 hours a week need to be spent not only contacting, inviting, and doing one-on-ones and attending home meetings, but it's also being plugged into the conference calls, being plugged into the company updates. If there's a Super Saturday training from 10 to 1, the importance that's as equally as important as a kid's Little League game. They have to be plugged in, because if they're not plugged in, they're not going to grow. So I want to teach them and encourage them that, hey, this is a new culture and a new environment, so you have to participate in it. Now that we've covered the cycle, the business building cycle, in the next section, we're going to talk about what it means to be a good sponsor.